Hey, what's up, YouTube? I am Ken from K&K Tree Service, if you didn't know that already. Uh, I was doing some thinking earlier today, and I thought, how can I help other small business owners who might be just starting out or who might be experiencing some growth and they don't really know what to do with it yet? Um, we have been in business as K&K Tree Service for 8 years, almost 8 years. This is our third year full time, meaning that 3 years ago, my business partner and I decided to, he quit his job and I was let go from General Motors. And that is the time that we decided to just go for it and just make K&K Tree our sole employment. Since that point, we have grown exponentially. We have done a lot of things to improve our business and the way that we operate. And I thought maybe I could share some of that to help people grow their business too. So what I did was, there's obviously a million tips that we could give you, but I picked five things that I feel like these are the core things that you need to do in order to build a successful small business or large business. I think large businesses start as a small business, right? So let's just jump right into it. Number one, the most important thing, in my opinion, is to build an online presence. Everybody goes to Google or Facebook or whatever search engine they use these days whenever they need anything. So I don't care what kind of business you're running, whether you're retail or you're a tree company like me or you're some landscaping company, or it doesn't matter. I think you have to have a presence on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google, and I think you have to have a presentable website. If you go to our website, knktree.com, knktree.com, I'll put that up on the screen somewhere, and in the description. But if you go to our website, about 2 years ago, it was kind of complicated. And I talked to my dad, who's my website developer. So if you need a web developer, send me a message, and I got a good one. But I talked to him and I said, I want to streamline this. I want to make it simple. So if you go to our website, you can fill out a contact form, which directly goes to my email inbox, and it'll give me your name, a description of the job if you put it in, your phone number, and your email. And that's all I really need to get started on a quote. And other than that, it's a one-page, simple, here's who we are, here's what we do, yes, we're fully insured, here's some pictures and some videos of what we do. And that's really all anybody, by the time they get through that stuff, they're going to decide, I either want to work with this company or I don't. And that's it. Now, if you're retail, like if you are selling something like t-shirts, hats, whatever, something like that, your website's obviously going to be a little bit more complicated. But because I don't have any inventory, all I offer are services, it can be super simple and it's very effective. I think the first thing you have to focus on is Facebook and Google. So we've been able to, over the last few years, build our Facebook page to over 1,000 likes. And the more likes your page gets, the more people see your page. Not just those. It's not 1,000 people that see my page. It's 1,000 people and their friends and their family. Because every time we post something, if they think it's cool, whatever it may be, they may share it. And that goes to everybody in their friends list too, even if they don't like my Facebook page. Google is super important to try to get on the first page. The way Google works is there's going to be three sections basically when you do a Google search. The first section is going to be paid ads, which that's a great option if you have the budget for it. The second section is going to be like the maps section, and that's where you can really capitalize as far as when people search tree service near me, it's gonna ping their location, and if you're within a certain radius of them, you will come up in that top, top 3, top 5, whatever it may be. And that's not a paid thing. That's something that you can advance that with paying, but you can also get yourself there without paying. Yesterday I did this just for fun. I searched for tree service near me, which is Goodrich, Michigan, and I was at home, so when I searched near me, obviously that was the Goodrich area, and we were number 2 in that map spot, and I'm not paying anything to Google right now. So number 1, build an online presence. Share as much content as you can. Take pictures, take videos, post things, whether it's funny things or Happy New Year or Merry Christmas. Just post a lot on Facebook and Instagram, and that will build your following. Number 2, which kind of goes along with that, is build a brand, not just a business. And what I mean by that is you want people to recognize you. Anybody can sell stuff as a business, but you want to be recognized. And this happens to us all the time. When I say this, I mean be everywhere. You need to be everywhere. You need signs, you need clothing. You can do giveaways, or you can give your clients things that have your logo on them so that they're walking around advertising for you, and it doesn't cost you really that much. Contests where you give away whatever it may be, and also throw in things that have your logo on them. Do flyers, put flyers, whether you mail them, you can go to the post office and do every door direct mail, so you can target a specific area, and everybody in that area, every single mailbox will get your flyer. Logos on your vehicles is extremely important. We've gotten a lot of business just from my business partner kind of lives near a main road, so his truck with our logo on it is always parked in the driveway, and I don't even know how many times, I would say maybe a dozen times over the last couple years, somebody's knocked on the door and said, "Hey, you got a card? I see you guys own a tree service. We're interested in getting a quote." And people stop us when I'm filling my truck up and they say, "Hey, you got a business card?" So make it obvious what you do. Your logo should show what you do, and it should be simple. Don't make it complicated. Ours is big, bold letters. It says K&K Tree Service, which obviously implies that we're a tree service, and it has my phone number, and that's it. I mean, it's very, very simple. It's sleek, it's good looking, and it catches your attention because we have like a tree on the side of it, and it's almost like a bright blue color, so it captures your attention. Another big thing we did with our trucks was I have just knktree.com across the windshield, and when you're driving down the road, if you pay attention next time you drive down the road, that catches your eye. I mean, if somebody's driving towards you and they have something on the windshield, you're going to read it, because out of 100 cars that drive by, you might pass one that has something across the windshield. So that's a biggie. Brand recognition is huge. One thing a lot of our clients say to us is, "Hey, I saw your ad in the paper, and we see your signs everywhere, so we wanted to give you a call and get a quote." Between the online presence and the building your brand recognition, it boosts your credibility big time. And what I mean by that is, if somebody sees 3 tree companies when they search for a tree service and they only recognize one of their logos, they're going to call that one because they know who it is. They feel like they know you. Number 3 is a biggie. invest as much back into your business as you can afford, whether that's advertising. If you're doing okay with how many leads you're getting, put that money into equipment instead of advertising, whatever equipment you may need. When you upgrade your equipment, you are increasing your productivity and you're decreasing your tax liability, which is huge. What I mean by that is when you make big purchases, like for example, last year we bought a new chipper. When you make big purchases, especially if you pay it off within that year, you will add in depreciation when you file your taxes on those assets, which will significantly decrease how much taxes you have to pay, which obviously you pay less taxes, you make more money. I've never purchased new equipment and regretted it. We buy new saws almost every year. We buy bigger, better rigging equipment. We buy better, better like just even little stuff for roping things down and this and that. I mean, there's always something that we can buy that will make us more productive. And the thing about that is when you get faster, you will make more money, because what you're going to do is not, okay, this job used to take me 4 hours, now it takes me 2, so the customer pays a lower price. Yes, you can lower your price a little bit, but just because it takes you 2 hours to do a job that would take someone else 8 hours to do a job doesn't mean you should charge 2 hours to do that job, if that makes sense. You're going to do the same quality of work. You're just going to do it faster and safer and with, possibly even more experience. So that's huge. Number 4 is something that we focus on big time, which is pay off as much stuff as you can. If you can pay off your vehicles, your vehicles for your business, if you can pay off your equipment, like for me, that's chippers, dump trailers, mini skid steers, saws, like all of that stuff we try to pay cash for if we can. If we can't, we pay it off as fast as we can. And the reason is because we have focused on becoming recession proof. And what I mean is, if the economy takes a dump, I don't want to have $5,000 a month in payments, because you can always, for the most part, find some work. And so if I don't have any business debt, the only thing I have to worry about is like my mortgage and keeping the lights on, which is a lot easier to pay for than my mortgage and keeping the lights on and the payment on a skid steer and the payment on a dump trailer and the payment on a loader and the payment on a truck and yada, 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 yada. So try to recession proof yourself. A lot of the guys, I'm not trash talking anyone, everybody has a different business plan, but a lot of the guys who take out a ton of payments are the ones who go under when the economy takes a dump. And the other thing is, less payments just means more profit for you at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, right? Because if you're, just throwing random numbers, so don't think anything of this, but if you're bringing in 10 grand a month and you got 5 grand a month in payments, you're really only bringing in 5 grand a month. Once you pay that stuff off, now you're bringing in 10 grand a month. Obviously, simple math, but it really does help. And the last thing, number 5, this is huge to me. It's extremely important to me. It may not be to you, but I think it's very important. Take time for yourself. I know that's hard to do. And if you have a family, take time for yourself and your family. I know it's hard to do. I know you're busy. I know there's a lot to do. Trust me, I get it. My phone is ringing all the time. We're constantly getting, comments and messages on social media. I always have estimates to get out. I always have invoices to get out. I have no idea what happened. Sorry about that, but I went to do my editing, and apparently the last couple minutes of the video got cut off. So I was in the process of saying it's really important to me, and I think it's really important to really any business owner to take time for yourself and to take time for your family. I think it's important that you take some time off, take as many weekends off as you can. Try to be home. So here's my goals, right, as far as time goes. I like to be home by 5 at the latest. I know that's not always possible when you're first starting out, especially, but I like to be home for dinner every night. I got a 7-year-old son and a fiance, and I like spending time with them. So I want to be home for them. And I also, something that we do is we try to take two, not necessarily vacations. Sometimes they're staycations, right? Depending on the budget. But we take like a week off in July, right around 4th of July. And we take a week to 2 weeks off between Christmas and New Year. And it just really allows us to kind of plan things to do with our family and fun stuff to do. It allows our employees to spend time with their family too, and regroup and get ready. You know, the Christmas break I especially like because it lets us have some time to kind of unwind and reflect on the year and go into the new year refreshed and ready to go. So don't work yourself to death, I guess, is kind of the point there. Yeah, you got to put the work in. You know, you got to work hard. But I genuinely believe that if you work really hard for 5 days a week, that's better than working kind of hard for 7 days a week, you know? So, and the last thing, this kind of just goes along with everything, but huge thing in my opinion is just being available. If you get a message on your business Facebook page, try to get back to them like within an hour, even if you just say, hey, I'll give you a call later today. What's your phone number? Because maintaining that contact is super important. The quicker you get back to them, the less likely they are that they're going to call somebody else. And the less quotes they get, obviously, the higher your chance of closing that business. So, like voicemails, text messages, all of that, I try to get back to as soon as I can, at least within that same day, even if it's just, hey, I'll give you a call later this week. This week is nuts. You know what I mean? And then I even, like, so my voicemail, when you call me and it goes to voicemail, says, hey, you know, this is Ken from K&K Tree, blah, 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 normal spiel, right? But then it also says, you can reach me on this same phone number by text. And it says that during our busy season, that's the easiest, quickest way to get in touch with us and to schedule a quote. So a lot of times people will call me, they get to voicemail, they don't even leave me a voicemail, they text me, and with their name, address, best time to contact them, because that's all stuff that when they hear me on my voicemail, I ask for that stuff. So it's it works out, you know, pretty well. So that's pretty much it. Just be available, work hard, you know, and then these 5-6 things that I mentioned in this video, I think are the most important things you can do, especially if you're starting out. But you have to continue to do those things throughout the entirety of running your business. So you have to stay relevant, right? So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helps you out a little bit. If you did, if you have some tips I might have missed, or if you have some questions, anything like that, you can leave them in the comments. And please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.